Hi Year 6, welcome to day 6 of Maths Easter Schoolwork. It's Mr. Dinsley here from Grace Darling, and I am going to go through some money problems with you today. So, as ever, pause the video and give these 6 questions a go. You might have seen one or two of them before in your lessons, but it's always good to give them another go. Just remember in that middle box, okay, there's a couple of pointers. Remembering obviously how many pennies are in a pound, how many pence are in a pound, 100 pence in £1. Just sometimes it's easier to convert pounds into pence or vice versa, pence into pounds, depending on what you're most comfortable with. And just remember for your answers, you need to give some units, whether it's pounds, whether it's pence, and just think of the different ways to answer or to write money, I should say. In £2.50, obviously we don't write 2.5. With money, you always have two numbers after the decimal point if you're talking in pounds. So here where I've got £2.50 or obviously 250 pence, and the difference below obviously £2 and 5 pence or 205 pence. So pause the video, give them a go, and I'm going to go through step by step afterwards all of the answers. Enjoy. So question 1, here we go. The children at Farmfield School are collecting money for charity. Their target is £360. So far they've collected £57.73. How much more money do they need to reach their target? Now I'm going to just highlight this bit here. How much more? That is one of our lovely phrases that we come across in our reasoning questions, and that's really great because we know exactly what one of the operations that we're going to have to do. I should have said that all the questions are 2-mark questions, and maybe if not a 3-mark question, so you know that you're going to have to do more than one step to solve these. But when you see how much more, I straight away ask my class to put a takeaway sign, because you know that how much more, how many more is always going to be a takeaway. It's a bit like when you see the words what is the difference as well, or if you saw the word total, you would be adding. So the children are collecting money for charity. Their target to collect is £360. So far they've collected £57.73. How much more money do they need to reach their target? Well, this one actually, I know I said 2 steps, but I think here obviously we've just got a very nice simple takeaway. So column subtraction, excuse the handwriting on the screen, and then 57 point and decimal point there as well. They are decimal points, it's just quite difficult to write on the screen that I'm using. Okay, and pop the decimal point, excuse that, straight into your answer. I will write that one again for you. There we go. And to make life easy, placeholders go in. Okay, so £360 take away £57.73. So starting from the column on the furthest right, in this case the hundredths column, we can't do 0 take away 3. We then look to the next column, the tenths. We can't take from that 0. Ignore the decimal point there for the moment. We can't take from the next 0, so we go all the way to the 6, and we borrow from the 6 to 5, but we can't jump back to the last 0. We have to go through all the zeros, the 10s now, pinching another one off, and then we get 10 take away 3, 7, 9 take away 7, 2, again 9 take away 7, 2, 5 take away 5, 0, and 3 take away nothing is 3. So you are left with, see, we put our pound sign in, £302 and 27 pence for question 1. Moving on. Lots of information to take in here, so I will highlight some of the key information. Large pizzas cost £8.50 each. 5 pizzas cost, not 5 pizzas, small pizzas cost £6.75 each. It is 5 children, I was reading the line below. Together they buy 1 large pizza and 3 small pizzas. They share the cost equally. How much does each child pay? Now again, share. a bit like on the last answer, or the last question where I said the how many more was a takeaway. If you see the word share, you should straight away be thinking of division. Okay, you're sharing out equally. So I'll pop back to the blue pen as we do the working out. So, well, before we can work out how they share the cost, we need to work out what the children have actually bought and how much they've spent altogether. Well, they've bought, as we highlighted, 1 large pizza and 3 small pizzas. The large pizza, okay, nice and simple, £8.50. But what about the 3 small pizzas? Well, in order to do that, we're going to need a short multiplication. £6.75 times by 3. That should be a times sign. Apologies again. Let's rub that out. Okay, a times there. And as ever, when we multiply with decimals, we don't put the decimal into the short multiplication, but we count how many numbers are after the decimal point. There is 2. Okay, and then we do our 675 multiplied by 3. 3 times 5, 15, 5, carry the 1. 7 times 3, 21, add the 1 is 22, so 2 in, carry the 2. And then 6 times 3, 18, add the 2 is 20. And then we go back and we put our decimal point in. There are 2 numbers after the decimal point in the question, 2 numbers after the decimal point in the answer. And there we go. So the children have spent £8.50 and £20.25. So in total, we now need to do another addition, our first addition of this question. And again, align the decimal points. I'm going to put the decimal points in first this time. Right, all 3 in a line. Remember, the decimal point never moves. 25 pence, and then it was £20. So altogether, 0 add 5, 5, 5 add 2, 7, 8 add nothing is 8, and £28.75. So altogether the children spent £28.75. But if we go back to our question here that we'd already popped in the fact we are going to be doing a division, we can see that we need to share the cost equally between the number of children. We'd already highlighted there are 5 children to share that between. So £28.75 divided by 5. We're hopefully thinking already, you're looking at the end of your question, it ends in a 5, we're dividing by 5, so you're thinking straight away, right, there's no remainder. Brilliant. How many times does 5 go into 2? That is 0, and we carry the 2. How many times does 5 go into 28? That would be 5, with a remainder of 3, because 26, 27, 28. How many times does 5 go into 37? Well, 7 times 5 is 35, with 36, 37, 2 remainder. And 5, how many times does 5 go into 25? It goes in 5 times. So we have our final answer, okay, which we'll bring all the way back up here. It's already got the pound sign, £5.75. Well done if you got that one right. On to the next one. A bag of 5 lemons costs £1. A bag of 4 oranges costs £1.80. How much more, there's that phrase again, does 1 orange cost than 1 lemon? So 1 orange, 1 lemon. How much more? We're telling ourselves straight away that you need to do a takeaway. Lovely. So a bag of 5 lemons costs £1. A bag of 4 oranges costs £1.80. Just to help, a bag of 5 lemons costs £1 or 100 pence, and a bag of 4 oranges costs £1.80 or 180p. It might just come in handy. Well, you've got £1 and you have to share that out equally between 5 lemons in order to find out how much 1 lemon costs. So I'll show you both ways, if you were doing £1 or if you were doing 100 pence. Well, how many times does 5 go into 1? It is 0, carry the 1. How many times does 5 go into 10? It's obviously 2, but then we still have to say how many times does 5 go into 0, and it's 0, and that was in pence. If we're looking at pounds, how many times does 5 go into 1? Well, you can't do it. But now, you add your decimal point in, we add a 0, and we carry over the 1 as a remainder. How many times does 5 go into 10? Well, it's 2, but because it's in pounds, you can't have one number after the decimal point. You have to make sure it's £0.20. That's why I think actually for the remainder of the question, I've decided pence is going to be easier to work in, so I'm going to go with that. So 1 orange costs 20 pence. Sorry, not 1 orange, 1 lemon, excuse me. 1 lemon costs 20 pence. So how much does 1 orange cost? Well, we do the same thing, but it's 4 oranges. So 180 pence divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 1? It is 0, and we carry the 1. How many times does 4 go into 18? 4, 8, 12, 16. That is 4, carrying over the 2. And how many times does 4 go into 20? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That is 5. So let me check it's right through. Orange costs 45p. Now we go back to our question. How much more does 1 orange cost than 1 lemon? Well, hopefully we can work that one out in our heads, but just to check, we'd said that 1 orange was 45 pence, and we'd said that 1 lemon was 20 pence, and we know from the how much more that we are taking away. 5 take away 0 is 5, 4 take away 2 is 2. Now that's 25 pence, but let's just look at the answer box. Absolutely give yourself 2 marks if you got that. But if this was in a stats paper and it had a pound sign, you'd obviously not be able to write 25 pence. You'd have to convert it back. Remembering 100 pence in a pound, so 25 divided by 100, 0.25. Okay, but I'll put it up there for 25p. Brilliant. On to the next one, 3 to go. Liam buys 2 apples, he pays with a £1 coin and he gets 64p change. How much does 1 apple cost? Well, he buys 2 and we want to know how much 1 costs. Again, pounds and pence. We've got pounds and we've got pence. So I'm always thinking, right, let's pop them into the same units, £1 coin or 100 pence. That does say pence. Apologies again for the writing. We'll just get rid of that. Okay, so he pays the £1 coin, he gets 64p change. Well, how much does he spend? He started with 100 pence, he got 64p change. In order to work out how much he spent, we take them away. I'll pop to the red pen for this part of the solving. 0 take away 4 we can't do. We can't pinch from the 0 in the tens column, so we jump to the 1 in the hundreds column. That becomes a 0, and then we have to go back through. Okay, 10 take away 4 is 6, 9 take away 3, 36. So 2 apples cost 36 pence. What do we have to do? Well, if we've got 2 apples costing 36 pence and we would like to know what 1 costs, we have to take our 36 pence and we have to share it out twice. 36 divided by 2. How many times does 2 go into 3? It is 1, remainder 1. And how many times does 2 go into 16? It is 8. There's no remainder. So that was 18 pence. So brilliant. Give yourself a mark if you got that. But again, let's just look back up. Because again, in sats, if you had this and you had a pound sign, you would have to divide the pence by 100. And it's 18 pence. Also looks like that because it's £0 and 18 pence. Okay, so well done on that one. A favourite of Year 6 teachers, this question. So let's dive in. I'm sure you may have already done this one before. I'm sure my class are already saying that they have. Amina posts 3 large letters. The postage costs the same for each letter. She pays with a £20 note. Her change is £14.96. What is the cost of posting one letter? So here we go. She pays with a £20 note. Her change is £40.96. Very similar to the last question. Well, what did she spend? So we take our 20. I'm already preempting the fact that I'm going to have decimal points, and I will pop those in with my equal sign. £20 and then £14.96. So again, placeholders, and we need to take away what we paid from what we had at the start. So again, we can't do 0 take away 6. We then can't pinch from the other zeros. Go all the way over there. The 2 becomes a 1, and we jump back through again. 10, 9. 10 take away 6 is 4, 9 take away 9 is 0, 9 take away 4 is 5, and 1 take away 1 is 0. So we spend, or we, Amina, spend £5.04. But go back to the question, she spent £5.04 posting 3 letters. We need to know what the cost of posting one letter is, remembering that each letter costs the same to post. So we take what we had, which was £5.04, and we will pop the decimals in. So if I'm popping it in my question there, I will also pop it straight away in my answer because it never moves. And we are dividing our £5.04 by how many letters she posted, which was 3. So again, how many times does 3 go into 5? The answer is 1, with a remainder of 2. How many times does 3 go into 20? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That is 6 times, with a remainder of 2. How many times does 3 go into 24? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. That is 8. £1.68. And just as we've done before, into the box, £1.68. Well done on that one. Last one. Olivia buys 3 packets of nuts. She pays with a £2 coin. This is her change. What is the cost of 1 packet of nuts? You can see the similarities in some of these questions. So she buys 3 packets of nuts. She pays with a £2 coin. This is her change. So just a little bit extra on this one. We don't actually know yet what her change is. Well, 50p, add 20p, 70p, add 10p, 80p, add another 10p is 90p, add another 5p is 95p. So she got 95p in change. She paid with a £2 coin. £2 or 200p. Either works. Just for this one, I'm going to go with the pounds and pence instead of just pence. So again, my decimal point is already in. She pays with a £2 coin, £2. She got 95p change, and we are taking away. So this is in order to find out how much she spent. Well, again, we can't take from the 0. We can't do 0 take 5. We can't take away from the 0, so we jump all the way to the end. Again, 10. We borrow, get the 9. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 9 is 0. And 1 take away 0, obviously 1. So it cost her £1.05 to buy the 3 packets of nuts. The question says, what's the cost of 1 packet of nuts? So we take what she spent, £1.05 decimal points straight in, divided by how many packets she bought, 3. So here we go. Again, how many times does 3 go into 1? It is 0, but we carry the 1 over. How many times does 3 go into 10? That is 3. Again, carrying the 1. How many times does 3 go to 15? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That is 5. So that is £0 and 35p. Or, as I've done previously, 35p. It would depend how the box was written. Sometimes this box does not have a pound sign. It has a pence sign at the end. Okay, so well done on completing those for today, and I will speak to you in another video later in the week looking at some percentages, fractions and decimals. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.